Quick story. I'm driving this weekend, Saturday. I'm on a one lane street in Brooklyn. To the left of me, bike lane.
Gotcha.
To the right of me, parked cars. Only one car in front of me. As we're driving, it was an Uber, by the way. We pull up to an area, you know, where like those gaps where there's like no one parked for like 6 car lengths, right? You got like a hydrant, maybe like a truck loading only.
Yeah.
So you got this big gap. Instead of pulling off inside, he just stops dead in the middle of the street.
Okay.
Right? Bike lane to the left, an open space to the right.
This is in your neighborhood.
This is in my neighborhood.
Got it.
It's on the way to the bridge.
Got it. Yeah.
So, of course, just stops cold, like as if the car just shut off. So I think to myself, oh, something must be wrong with the car. He's not dropping somebody. Why would you drop somebody off in the middle of the street? There's a bike lane to your left and there's no one parked on the right. So I go around it. As I'm going around it, I hear thunk. And I realized that someone had swung open the door and completely swiped off my side mirror.
Get out of here.
Just plastic everywhere. Just mirror and plastic everywhere.
That's not easy to do that. You have to open the door with a fair amount of force.
You know how like your car, it would collapse in.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
But you know, cars that are only driven by motor, I can't push my mirror in.
Okay.
It's only by motor, so it was like locked open.
Gotcha.
Like if it was the regular car, I would have just slammed closed. I'd have a couple scratches. No. I'm picking plastic off the street. I get out of the car very angry.
Of course.
And my wife's like, You're kind of on TV, you know.
You can't just.
And I was like, oh yeah, I can't be on a dash cam yelling at this guy whose last name has 48 syllables and he has a very thick Russian accent.
Right.
You know, I can't do that. So I was just like, what the hell, man, is all I could say. Obviously, I didn't use the word hell, you know. But then I also realized the passenger got a little bit worried. She got scared and she closed the door. So I was like, I don't want to make anyone scared.
Okay.
So now I just picked up all the plastic and I was like, immediately threw my hat. I'm like, I'm not going to call insurance for this.
Yeah.
It's not even worth the deductible. My rate's going to go up. So I just collected my pieces of side view mirror. It got back in my car and left. I was so angry.
Wait, but it's obviously their fault. Did they
Truly their
toss you a
fault.
couple bucks? Venmo
Nothing.
you?
I just took off. I just said, it's not worth it. Because the guy was very confrontational with me as well. I was like, there's no way this is going to end positive, you know? And the guy's like, I have my emergencies on. I go, you know, my car's like loaded with cameras. He's like, well, I put the emergencies on now. I was like, well, that's not helping any of us.
Wow. So this is a turning point, I think, for just your...
Yeah.
You know,
this is my way of letting you know, I think I've matured a little bit.
Anger management is working.
Yeah, I hate it.
You know, as soon as you get a big old job at CBS, all of a sudden...
Yeah, now when you got shit to lose, that's when you decide not to be reckless.
You know, okay.
I was so mad. I banged the hood of his car. That's the most I got.
Damn, bro.
When I said, what the heck, man?
My man censoring himself.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
I just went to dinner with no side view mirror.
Good for Alexis.
Nah, that's not fun. This isn't
you're
fun.
not making headlines, okay? Because the last time you made a headline in a local paper, it was for getting bit by a bed bug. In Minnesota.
And and the hotel was like, we see no evidence of bed bug. How about my leg? How about the actual bed bug I gave you? There's evidence, exhibit A and B.
Yes, that is a true story. Go look it up.
Yeah.
If, Google Alexis Guerreros bed bugs. I'm sure you can
I was so angry that I was like, Christian's never picking a hotel again. As if you purposely picked a bed bug hotel.
I said, extra bed bugs, please.
yeah. Alexis is going to get there first. Can we have him be the only one who gets bit by a bed bug, please?
Anyway, well, good for you, buddy. Hopefully everything, it's just a car. At the end of the day, it's just stuff, Alexis.
Just stuff.
Material things.
But here's the thing. It's my stuff.
Okay. You need to get back home to your family. That's the most important. Not fighting, a Russian dissident in the street.
Yo. Shouts to my guy from the Republic of Georgia.
Okay, from the former Soviet Union, dog.
My bad, Mr. Kvaratskhelia.
So, welcome to the Cooligans right here on Sports. We out here. We're back after a wild weekend in European footy.
I'm living good.
Alexis is the only one. Me and producer Carter.
I'm an
here.
Arsenal fan. I'm not an LAFC fan. I had a nice weekend.
You're chilling, dog.
I had a nice weekend.
But yeah, so we have a lot to go over. Obviously, we're going to talk Tráfico.
We definitely got to talk a little bit of Tottenham and a little bit of Everton. Sorry,
boy.
Carter. Sorry, Christian.
It's we tried to I'm trying to get these highlight videos scrubbed from the internet, bro. We can't. Why are they allowing Everton highlights on the internet nowadays? But yeah, so a lot to
Everton highlight is also an oxymoron.
Okay, well, I mean, they got two. Anyway, and we have we have two friends that are going to be joining us in a little bit to talk about, especially at Tráfico, the homies Amelia Lopez and Wiso Vasquez, to talk about a lot going on in American soccer and in Mexican soccer. So
and it's Mexican Independence Day.
Exactly, my favorite holiday,
bro. It's the only one we celebrate.
Okay, right? I don't even acknowledge the other Independence Day.
I don't know what happened. John Hancock, did he push the damn conquistadors out of our country?
No, even for the United States, I'm like, we still a colony of Britain, bro.
Yeah, it still feels like it. Yo, Canada still got the king and queen on the money.
On the money, yeah.
It's embarrassing, bro. Yo, let go of your ex, dog.
Yeah, bro. How is Canada's money getting cucked, bro?
Yeah, for real. You ain't gonna find me using no but other president, other someone. I ain't gonna. The $2 bill doesn't have Kim Jong-un on it.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everybody. My name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And let's start today. Yeah, let's start with the North London Derby because Arsenal win again at Tottenham Stadium.
Bro, I was watching that game like,
win 1-0.
1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0.
Okay.
That's the old chant from when we used to suck. Or we used to just play crazy defensively.
The a goal by Gabriel Magalhaes. You could tell he was very happy with it.
Well, hold on a second. Did we score a goal on a set piece?
Hey, look.
Did Tottenham give up a goal on a set piece?
Does
Ange Postecoglou still not need a set piece coach?
What? What was the? Oh, that's right. That is one of the things.
Remember that?
They during the game, and I guess it's I haven't paid attention to it that much, but during the game, they kept talking about the goalkeeper, Vicario. How do you say? It's like Guillermo. The Spanish we would say Guillermo, but I don't know how to pronounce it in Italian. Guillermo. Right, okay. So there's a little bit of
GL is just the L.
Because there's a little bit of
it's a U also. Guglielmo is how it looks.
There's a little bit of we want it Google. Google.
Yeah. So right.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying it's like as an American reader,
right? English
reader, I'm like, okay, what is this? You're trying to trick me here.
Yeah, it feels like you're trying to win at Scrabble with a word that don't exist.
But they kept
but Vicario, we can understand.
Yes, but they kept saying that he's been terrible with balls inside the 6-yard box. Whenever you send like that goalkeeper should be better in this situation, and goalkeepers that are his height, they're specifically like, yo, you're too tall to be getting embarrassed like
this. It's like a Latin mom when she reminds you your cousins are doing better than you. That's how this all sounded. Oye, tu cousin is a doctor.
You're like, how'd you get this far? Making these kind of mistakes. And the goal that was given up, I don't even think it's a mistake by him. I think it was a great set piece from Arsenal. They crowded the box at just the right time, and he was just like confused, like, oh my, there's too many people in front of me.
Who do I stop?
Exactly.
Also, the guy taking the corner is left footer, so you know it's going to be an in-swinger. And here comes Gabriel Magalhaes making a long run, and at one point, Cuti Romero just loses him, which is not
losing, but he
lost him. He turned around, he wasn't there anymore, and he was like, "Oh damn!"
Gabriel gave him a little bit of like
the recovery. You gave him a little
push, let him
nudge. Nudge is allowed.
Let you know I'm here.
Yo, we pro nudge on this show. Okay, you're allowed to nudge.
Little Heisman stiff arm.
It wasn't a push.
It wasn't a push.
A nudge. It was a little hey.
It was just.
You ever wake your girl up? You know what I mean? If you're unsure, she has to wake up early. He goes, "You working today?" That was it. It was a little nudge.
I'm also here. That's all. Yeah. So because he turned around with the like, yo, ref, you seeing this,
bro?
You seeing what's gone? What's happening to
violent nudge?
The game's gone,
yeah,
ref.
Dude,
the game's gone. You allow this kind of assault.
We should have never let foreigners into the league. The guy's Argentinian.
Bro. Next he's gonna be talking about people eating dogs and cats.
Right,
and I'm like, bro,
God, it's too much.
Romero, chill out, dog.
Then we gotta go to a Gabriel Magalhaes restaurant. Yeah, damn, Romero. All I know is that for weeks I've had to hear Nico on Morning Footy talk about how Romero is possibly the best Best center
Yes,
back in the league.
This was coming up, yeah.
In the game.
Mm.
He's a World Cup winner. Where was he? Where was he on that set piece?
Well,
bro?
look, this is my takeaway from this game was, obviously Tottenham haven't had the best start this season, but I was watching this game of like, let's see how they approach this matchup and this situation, a big game early on in the season. And for the most part, I'm watching, I'm like, yo, Tottenham are a pretty good team. They looked fairly sharp. Yeah, they couldn't score. This game felt like it had 0-0 all over it.
Yeah, they had a lot of momentum, but they weren't doing nothing with it.
Incredible stops on both sides.
Yep.
And not even like it wasn't even like that the goalkeepers had a lot to do. It was really like, I think, good defending on both sides. And it's just, that's it. Set piece FC gets you sometimes. And this was the
I'm not even
scenario.
going to be offended by that, to be honest with you.
No, I think it was Ian Wright that said this. I think he called this set piece FC.
I'm perfectly fine with it. Like, yo, our two best midfielders, Arsenal's two best midfielders are out. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Your creative midfielder, the guy you paid $100 million for, both out. What are you going to do? Yeah, you've got Leandro Trossard is basically starting as like a false nine striker. You've got Havertz back in the midfield. That clearly wasn't working either. Bukayo Saka is playing his 700th week in a row. You know what I mean? Like, these people are gassed.
This game was set up for Arsenal to either drop points or lose outright.
Or just a 0-0. Barely get a result and walk out.
Exactly.
Come on, they started a 4-4-2. Jorginho, who has...
It was almost like... it was... the original listing I had seen was Trossard at the top, and it was like 3 at the back.
Yeah.
And, 5 in the middle or whatever. I
think it always started, I think it was always 4 at the back, but I think the midfield was like in a 2-3-1 setup. Yeah. With Partey and Jorginho sitting back. And then you've got Saka, Havertz, Martinelli with Trossard up top by himself. Look, this was set up to be we're going away to the most enemy territory can be. Beginning of the season, we don't need to go crazy, right? Just an international window just ended. Let's just go in there. Let's try to get a result and walk out of here, not let them score. Dude, this is 3 away wins in a row. That hasn't happened in the North London Derby. That hasn't happened since 1988.
I saw the picture from Expressions, and he was just like, he was like, 3rd time in a row. This can't keep happening, and it's just like, I don't even know what to say. There's just something. We all Spursy this and whatever. I thought they were decent. I thought Tottenham was pretty good in this game. It wasn't just like they didn't get embarrassed, but they just couldn't. They couldn't figure it out. I thought Gabriel and Saliba were unbelievable.
They are by far the best center back pairing in the world.
They were so good. Even to the point where I'm like, Calafiori, where are you going to get minutes, bro? These guys are too good.
Well, that's how Timber played out of his
Timber was incredible.
I was like, yo, bro, Calafiori, you might want to take a wicket too. You might want to hurry back.
Also, I thought Son was like kind of absent in the game, like really didn't have any real impact on the game as okay. Yeah, we should get Carter's.
We do got to get Carter's take on this. I just want to say before we do, and Carter, I can't wait to hear how you're going to try to spend this. I mean, what you have to say. What I want to say is, let's think back to Giorgio Chiellini, maybe making one of the greatest post-game.
After
talks all the time. A lot of people remember like this is the history of Tottenham, right? When he said that, but you forget what he said beforehand. What he said was they played very well, but in the end they found a way to not win, and that is the history of Tottenham. Is literally what you're saying right now, which is they look like the better team on the day.
Yeah,
they just couldn't finish any chances. Solanke, what was he? 62 million pounds? Yeah, 65. Something like that, 60-something million pounds. Bro, the guy had one clear-cut chance and just kind of the ball got stuck in his foot or he took a bad first touch. I mean, this is the thing that happens to Tottenham is they Tottenham themselves. You know what I mean?
You add it as another description in the dictionary.
Adjective, noun, proverb.
When you changed formation and
this was the clip.
Very quickly. Yeah, but Tottenham, it's the history of the Tottenham. They always created many chances and scored so much, but at the end they miss always something to arrive at the end. We believe in the history. I think
This brutal. This is brutal.
It's worse in an Italian accent because there was a cultural exchange where he I don't even speak English is not my first language, but I've heard of the legend that is Tottenham.
Yo, when you gotta hit Google Translate for these mans suck. You know what I mean? How do I get the official pronunciation? I
feel bad because even you saw Postecoglou after the game.
May I remind the fans, this is an Everton fan feeling bad for Tottenham.
Did you see Postecoglou after in the post match comments where he was asked essentially just about the state of Tottenham, like can they actually win trophies? And you can tell he's just like, bro, I am tired of answering this question every week. I don't know what to tell. I can't wash the stink of Tottenham off of us. Well, I'm trying my best.
I can't go back in history, kill baby Hitler, and then turn around and then help Tottenham. I can't do both of those.
You know what kind of, my calendar is full with all these other, asks,
bro,
to fix history.
I can't go back in time and tell Jesus, yo, it's Judas. Go back, kill baby Hitler. And then save Tottenham.
Yo, Julius, watch out for Brutus, bro. You can't trust him, bro.
Bro, don't turn your back on that guy. But I mean like literally.
So,
also put some pants on, Julius.
Look, and we can make fun of Tottenham forever, which is what everybody does. But
I'm pro doing that if that's an option.
But I want to show some positivity because we get sometimes in the comments like, "Oh, this damn Arsenal podcast" and blah blah blah. Like because people can't stand it. But I do want to give because I thought I haven't watched too many Tottenham games this season, but. The center back, Van de Ven. Where's he from? Is he Dutch?
He's fast as hell.
He's great. I think he's good. He is set up to be one of the better defenders in the Premier League. I thought he was fantastic. There's just he good passer, controls the ball. He can dribble out of the back pretty well. Good player to have on the team. Hopefully they can figure some of this stuff out. Bringing in Dominic Solanke, I think was it's one of those things of like, oh, he did it. Well, he was at Bournemouth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he did it at Bournemouth. He can just do that for us. And it's like, I don't know if he can just do that for you. Like, he can't. He's still figuring out.
But they thought that about Richarlison at first, and I think he's kind of solidified himself as a big option. He's injured. Yves Bissouma is injured, which is a massive part of the way they play. Yves Bissouma is supposed to be able to turn around with pressure collapsing on him and make a forward pass or make a forward run. He excels at that. He does that exceptionally. It's what gives, James Maddison the space, Betancourt the space, whoever he's passing it to is who gives them the space to turn around and make like a nice pass to either, Heung-min Son or Brennan Johnson off on the side playing with a Rubik's Cube, whatever he's doing, because he stinks. But, whoever else is supposed to turn around and shoot. But without those guys, it's like, yo, you take away. This is the big issue for me, right? Like people are like, oh, Arsenal were too defensive. Think about what Mikel Arteta did. Said, yo, I don't have my best players. I don't have the players that allow me to play the way I want to play. So I need to switch it up. I've got this great defense. Let me sit back. Let me let them cook a little bit, and maybe we can sneak a point on a set piece. Exactly what happened. You go over to the other side, Tottenham, Ange Postecoglou, who again I've heaped praise on this man. I think he's a wonderful tactician, a wonderful coach. He's won everywhere else he's gone. He made, the Brisbane Roar look like, tiki-taka Barca. This guy is good. This guy's very good at what he does. But, he got plan A and then that's it. His whole thing is like, if plan A don't work, why don't we do plan A louder? That's not the way you win games. If you don't have your player that helps you play the way you want to play, then you got to switch it up. You got to do something different if you don't have a replacement for him.
Yeah, maybe even like now I think I'm trying to figure out like why didn't Son have any real impact? And maybe you think about the connection that he had with Harry Kane, and Harry Kane was such a great hold up striker that it doesn't feel like Solanke is that. And maybe
with time, but when Richarlison comes back, maybe
it benefits Son so much. It's just like Son seemed lost in the game, man. It was just so disappointed. Carter, as the Tottenham supporter,
say something for the Tottenham fans in the chat.
Give him some level of optimism if you can.
I think I completely agree with Christian's kind of like take on it. I thought, outpossessed Arsenal.
Really, you don't agree with the Arsenal fans.
Outpossessed Arsenal. The midfield, we looked good in the midfield. Defensively, Van de Ven and Romero both had good games. I just think that the
Romero, the guy that let the
I think overall he had a good game. That was a mistake for sure,
Outside
but
of
I
giving
think
him the only goal.
overall he had a good game. But I think the attacking third, like that last, the Son, Johnson, and Solanke couldn't put anything together.
Yeah.
Johnson, he kept on hitting his first man whenever he would take on, or whenever he tried to cross, and whenever he tried to take on Timber, he would lose. And so it comes down to like, yes, clap for Urian Timber.
That was just for Timber.
Clap for Urian Timber. But
great
yeah,
signing.
I think it comes down to one thing that Alexis said, which is maybe this is an Arteta-Ange thing, or is this these two clubs are in a different part of their development, right? Arteta's been there for 5 seasons. This is season number 2 for Ange, where Arsenal knows how to win games that they don't play their best in now. And they did it last season, and they're doing it again this season, where they can play poorly or they cannot play their style of football and still find a way to win.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Who wins a trophy first, Harry Kane or Tottenham?
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. What is that's not,
I feel like
that's no spot. That's a what a lovely, comfortable spot to be in.
I'm gonna put you in this burger lounge here. But he's a Tottenham fan. I thought that would hurt a little more.
Just gave him a drink with a little umbrella in it.
I put a little sprig of Tabasco on this rice. I said, "Watch out, it's spicy."
Hey, we got some tahini on that.
Watch out for this ice. It's a little cold. Look, it's embarrassing that might be the case. That Harry Kane would win something before an entire club, but it might just happen.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why he went to Bayern, right?
Yeah. It
Didn't work out last year.
Overall, I thought it was a decent performance from Tottenham. You're gonna get hit on a set piece, and again, the fact that
Don't forget they're home
they are home
in a North London derby, their most hated rival.
Correct. Look, it's clearly very contentious.
Yeah.
I have been to the Emirates when all they do is sing about how much they hate Tottenham. All right,
And Tottenham wasn't even playing.
Tottenham was
There was
not
no
even playing.
Tottenham representation at that game.
So I get it. But this is
There was a moment where Christian goes, again? When someone yelled, what do we think of Tottenham?
yeah. It's just like, all right, I heard this track before.
yeah, man. DJ said spin it back. What about Everton, bro? Y'all in the mud, huh?
All right. Everton, we are in the mud. We're in it's not just mud, it's quicksand.
It's
bro.
quicksand, bro. Cartoon level quicksand.
It's another consecutive loss after being up 2-0.
The one thing you're supposed to be good at is the defensive part. What happened?
Nah, bro, that ain't us, okay?
that was the old me.
We're trying something different.
That was angry Alexis, bro.
No, this is I would say it's embarrassing, but it just happened the week prior. So Everton lose 3-2 to Aston Villa. For Everton to be up 2 goals away.
Did you have confidence that they would be able to hold on?
No. Not even a little bit. No, confidence is not. When it comes to Everton, confidence is not in the vocabulary.
You were just sitting there like, how are we going to lose this one?
Look, I literally said once the first goal went in, Ali Watkins scores on the header. I was like, we're going to. I didn't even say we're gonna stick it out for a result.
Yeah,
let's go. Just
the Sean Dyche way.
dig in, boys.
Yeah.
No, it was like we are going to lose this game, because it was another issue with Michael Keane, the center back that is in for the injured Branthwaite, and I mean to Keane's credit, in the 2 prior seasons when Everton were, look like they might be relegated, he came through with unbelievable goals, important goals, bangers that were just necessary to help keep the team in the Premier League. But his definitive weakness is his defending. He's
What position does he play?
He's a center back.
Okay, cool. Cool.
It's kind of the main thing. It's like the first thing on his resume, right there at the top. And he just always, and this is not necessarily like his fault per se, because Ali Watkins is, got bunnies, all right, and
like it's not his fault. There's people on the other team,
but
what's he supposed to do?
It's just the constantly like either being out of position. Even that ball, it was just like there was a little bit of like he jumped a little too early So he was like almost on the way down by the time he was trying to clear the ball. And Ollie Watkins just got there before him. But it's just it's just a annoying goal to give up. The second one, a poor clearance from Jack Harrison, who is left-footed and using his right foot to try to clear the ball, but he just sets it up for Ollie Watkins. And
literally great assist.
Great assist, right?
Yeah.
So it's just
and then a worldie of a third
it's just
goal.
The third goal was just like, yes, of course. Of course. This has to happen. John Duran, the former Chicago Fire player, who can't even get a start at Aston Villa.
Don't need it though. He scores buckets.
Because he always seems to score when he comes off the bench.
Yeah.
It was just, but the goal was so beautiful that I was like, all right, that's it.
What are you gonna do?
It's like, boom, credit to you. I mean, like, another embarrassing situation. But Everton, again, they scored those two, but they had a chance. They could have made it 3-1. Calvert-Lewin missed two really great opportunities. Maybe one of them was not really his fault. The ball is like passed a little bit in front of him, but he couldn't reach it. But it's just, how bad does this have to keep getting? I mean, it's, you know how Everton's fans always say that it's the hope. It's the hope that kills you.
Do you even have any this year?
But you have hope when you're up 2 in the first half. You're like, all right, let's just hold on. 5 at the back. Let's chill. And no, but you know how bad it's gotten. I don't know if you saw this. So we were talking about John Textor.
I heard he said some wild stuff about Sean Dyche.
I didn't see that, but this is so this is how bad it's getting, because they're trying to they sell the team and he's trying to buy the team. But you know who John Textor is trying to get involved in the ownership group? Guess. Take one guess. Guess anybody. From New York.
Not Donald Trump.
Imagine.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna give you a second guess. That was a really bad guess.
Well, you said it like it was wild.
It's fairly wild, but guess anybody.
Did he?
Close. Jay-Z.
Really?
Yeah, this is apparently he's trying to get him.
Oh, you made it seem like it was problematic.
I mean, for some people it might be. I don't know. But this is how bad it's getting, where they're trying to find.
Give you a second.
This is it's look. What can be said? The team is. It just happened the week prior in kind of a worse circumstance, and the match prior, in a worse circumstance when they were up 2-0 in the 87th minute. So this was like a more respectable loss, because it was like, all right, it happened throughout a longer time. They held a lead for a longer time than that.
Progress.
Well,
the reason I was on my phone just now is I was looking up John Textor. Also, he kind of, you know how John Textor is, right? We saw him on the sideline at Botafogo going, this whole thing is rigged. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So the guy likes to yip a little bit, which we love. We love yippers on the show because it gives us something to talk about. He was asked, I can't find the exact quote, but he was asked about his potential takeover. And he was saying, like, it's very close. And he was talking about where the team is. He's talking about wanting to bring in big name players, and he wants to blah, blah, blah. And he wants to, save the team and make sure the stadium is the best in Europe. He was doing all that type of thing. I'm paraphrasing. But when he talked about Sean Dyche, he said, and look at the coach we have. Look at the manager we have. Like, is he even the one to take the team? He was already kind of, the guy's still in his job. And the dude was like, I'm not even sure this is the guy who should be the manager. And then Sean Dyche was asked about it. And he basically was like, I might get sacked, I might not, but as long as I'm here, I'm going to give my all,
He should have been like, I don't think we should sell the team, because I love our owner. He's great.
Mashiri, bro. He got some ideas.
Would I get this Mashiri tattoo if I did not think he was the right owner for this club?
Nah, you bugging. With that crazy voice of his.
Like I said, you asked me if it's embarrassing. Does it
we're
still
beyond
hurt,
or are you past it?
No, it hurts, but also you look at the Premier League table and one win and you're in like 15th. So I'm like, all right, can we the bar is clearly...
You're like a New England Revolution fan, bro. 2 wins and no one else plays any games. And bro, we're like 1 point out of the playoff.
We need to introduce a playoff model to the Premier League where the top 20 teams make it to the playoffs. Okay?
Now you're thinking.
Now think about it, guys. Okay? Because this is the real competitive structure that I think really helps improve the product.
Yeah, Christian's like, if you make it to the playoffs, you can't get relegated. So I don't know how it's going to work out.
Okay. Then the other thing, as far as European football, we wanted to make sure we talked about was Christian Pulisic. He got a goal and an assist.
He's balling. Player of the month from the Italian media last month.
Look at that. He scored on a penalty and then he got an assist off the corner. But it's also, Christian Pulisic taking corners, taking penalties.
He said, "Give me that ball."
He says, if the ball is set still,
right,
I'm gonna be the one above it.
If we playing, pass me the ball, pass it back to you. If the ball's dead, everyone get out of my way. I got this.
So I think it's a fairly big deal to have, especially an American player, have that much trust from the coaching staff to be like, oh, no, this is the guy that's going to lead us and kind of direct a little bit.
Right. And look, it's been a rough start for Milan. I think they're like in 8th place. Certainly not where they want to be.
One, I think 2 draws and 1 win.
Yeah, it hasn't been great.
Or something like that.
But they're in 10th. Yeah. They're in 10th place. Yeah, it hasn't been great. There's already 3 matches in there, like, people calling for Paulo Fonseca to be sacked. It is what it is. In the beginning, obviously, there's going to be some growing pains. But the one positive is that Christian Pulisic seems to be playing well. Other teammates seem to like him. Lau said in the preseason that he, connects well with them. They have a lot of chemistry. Like, those are all the things you want to hear. I remember I was talking to a Milan fan a couple of months ago in the summer. They were in New York. And I'm like, oh, what do you think of Christian Pulisic? And he was just doing the Italian thing of like, we had Shevchenko, we had Nesta, who's a Pulisic. I'm like, one of your players. That's who he is. That's why I asked. Stop disrespecting your player like that.
Right.
And seemingly someone who's playing at the highest level for your team.
Yeah, so it's good to see, and again, we always hope it translates to the national team. But
I hope Pochettino's watching, bro.
But yeah, especially with
Poch watch.
Poch. Okay, we got.
Why you Poch watching?
We got Poch watch. We need a graphic card for that. That's great.
It's Poch watch.
Poch watch. It's
just in his underwear making a mate. We're like, all right. Stop the podcast.
You just see him from the type of player he was at Dortmund to this like young upstart, wonder kid, kind of a story to just the chaos that was Chelsea.
Not his fault.
Yeah. And it's just like maybe that helped develop his character a little bit, his maturity, because just not only just seeing him score some goals and obviously he's doing great at Milan, but it's just that. Again, he has that confidence from the rest of his from his teammates and stuff like that. So it's good to see. And again, you hope it translates. Obviously.
Yeah, and he's not like the Clint Dempsey type leader where he's out there braggadocious. He's kind of a quiet leader, leads by example. Right. So it's nice to see that at the very least he's finding ways to implement himself in these teams.
The one thing I did forget, Liverpool losing to Nottingham Forest. Quick thought.
That was the first time since like the 50s that Nottingham Forest won at Anfield, bro. That's crazy. The same year, what was the year that the man landed on the moon?
It was in the 60s. I forgot what year. 60.
Who cares?
I don't remember.
69. You know what I mean?
It was.
Dude. They 69 at Anfield. That's the way I'm gonna say it.
Okay, yeah, bro. Can just think about it. 69 in space. I mean,
no gravity, dude. Damn. If Shorty is squirted, that's just a lot of. It's getting on all the technology,
Anyway,
a mere space station.
Just think about it.
Damn, we gonna need some wet wipes.
A surprising.
My favorite is when you try to direct us back on track.
That's why.
Just how do you underail a train?
That's what I'm here for.
Speaking of train in space, anyway.
Can
you get pregnant in space? Is that possible? I don't think you can.
Why not? Why couldn't you? Please.
Because gravity. You know what I'm saying? The force. I don't think I think gravity's important, no?
Bro. We got it.
Is no one with me on this? We have other people in the studio
You know what? There's
who are
nothing.
also embarrassed.
I was gonna try to go back to talking about Liverpool, but we're gonna have to move on. We're gonna be chatting with Wiso and Amy.
Maybe they'll know.
Maybe they'll know.
Maybe they Google this.
We know our first question to them. Okay.
Let's just say they're not going to expect him.
This is gonna be an ongoing series where first question to all guests: can you get pregnant in space?
Prove it. Show me the proof.
See? Directly into the mic, please. All right, we'll be back when we said Amy. All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm excited to have our next guest because it's been a minute.
They've been on our show before.
Been on our show. Usually, I think the last time they were on together was when they were in Qatar for the World Cup.
That's right.
I believe so. Yeah, we were in.
Feels like just yesterday and also a decade ago, all at the same time.
And we were in Atlanta because
right.
we were hosting a watch party for
For the
US
first.
US Wales.
That's right.
So that's so we were all traveling very, very much. So excited I don't know the exact title of what their current jobs are because I feel like they have 14 of them.
They keep moving the goalpost on us. They're like, no, we don't do that anymore. You did at the beginning of this conversation.
So I'll let them clarify where they are as far as gainful
Who
employment.
are you and what do you do?
But excited to be joined by Amelia Lopez and Wiso Vasquez. Wiso and Amy, what's up, guys?
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. It feels like, it legit feels like a movie set that you see all the time, and then you're like, oh my God, I'm here.
Right. It's
I'm
what
here.
sometimes people are like with New York, they're like the big city, and maybe we're like the big city of soccer podcasts.
We're the Times Square.
We're the Times Square.
Yeah.
It's true. We were.
And just like yesterday, filled with Mexicans.
Yeah. I love it.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, perfect for the production. It was like, Mexican Independence Day. We saw it, Amy.
Exactly.
Tottenham,
That's
fucking
right.
son. We
It's
got-
also the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah,
Look at
see?
that.
Which I
Look
love.
at that.
I always say I love that Hispanic Heritage Month spans 2 different months. It
Yeah.
starts in the middle of September.
In true Hispanic honor, it starts late and it ends late.
Yeah.
Just like a Latino party.
It ends almost like, oh, it's still going on? Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, we're getting cold.
Why are the kids asleep on chairs? Because the party's still going. That's why.
Right in the middle of it, the Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
So we have to first talk about El Tráfico because Amy, I know you.
I had an amazing weekend.
Okay,
Yeah.
you bet.
As you
She is
can
wearing
see.
an
I
Arsenal
had-
shirt.
Arsenal top, LA Galaxy,
LA
Canelo.
Galaxy, Canelo.
Canelo won.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And then America's. I mean, I have a very soft spot for Chivas Femenil, but both America teams also won. So
Love
this
it.
was
All
the
right.
best
It was a great
week. Something.
weekend.
This means something bad's gonna happen to me.
Uh-oh. You're on this show.
Wiso, do you
Can astronauts get pregnant?
have? We have
Not pregnancy, actually.
we asked this to
Look,
all our guests.
Look, as the
We
only
just
person,
happen to have it.
as the
on
only
the show.
person, as the only person at this table that can get pregnant and has twice.
Mhm.
I would say there's a possibility. It's
There's a
a high,
possibility.
a
All right,
high
okay, so
possibility.
Amy can get
'Cause you
pregnant on the
Yeah, no, Amy's like, don't trust him.
If anyone could get pregnant on the moon,
Wiso,
it's my dear friend.
Do you have an MLS team or no?
No, but since I'm with
I've been
like
trying to
Amy
convert you.
all the time,
Yes.
it is I now have to cheer for. Any
I made
team.
him into an Arsenal fan.
So that's one.
Okay.
right. So we're throwing it. So no MLS team. I live in Phoenix. It's too hot to have one there.
Exactly.
Phoenix,
true.
Phoenix Rising. But I kind of like sit to see where Mexicans play in the MLS, and I'm like, okay, Houston. Ooh, okay, earthquakes.
Doble H, huh?
So I kind of go on, and I look from behind. I stand around when I look at the Tráfico and see. Carlos Vela and Chicharito was there. So I kind of
yeah.
looking to see, but I can't say anything bad because, Amy will be like, yo, you can't. She had a great weekend. I had to pull a little bit. If you're talking about El Tráfico, we went to see the fight in Jersey. And we were working over there. And literally we had screens of the UFC fight and we had Canelo. There's tons of people. I have a picture. Maybe you guys can put it up. I'll send it to you. There's Amy in her little phone watching El Tráfico. You can't hear it. Everyone's going crazy about the fight, but she just goes,
Yeah.
elbows me because they went down from 0-2, and I'm sure you could tell a better story. But it was crazy how she's just so committed to it. So.
I think towards the end you were getting less elbows and more. I'll buy the next round.
Yeah,
because it was a wild one.
But look, in that first half, LA Galaxy are down 2 goals, and it's starting to feel like okay,
It's looking bad.
Here we go again.
It's looking bad. I think Jalen Neal is a really good, promising young player, but I think there are times where, especially in the first 15 minutes, it got to be a little bit too much for him. They were just going down that line like every time. And I was like, here we go. How are we going to respond to it? And then they did. It really was a tale of two halves for LA Galaxy because they look flustered. For everything that Galaxy has done well offensively, a big talking point has been the fact that we give up so many goals, but we're able to respond to all the goals. And I felt like, okay, I do kind of have a sense of hope that they're going to be able to clean this up, but they did look really lost in the first half. And I think just, again, the 2 goals coming so close within each other, coming so soon into the start of the game, you're just kind of like, are we
you knew
really
what they were going to do? The only thing they do is counter, right?
Yeah.
They don't. It's not like the old days where Vela was in. Although he's back.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll get
cover that in a
reactions.
second.
Longest PTO anybody's ever taken.
It's like
He took a sabbatical, bro.
the goal from I thought the biggest one, the goal from Jovic, his first goal, right? The one
Trivela.
was it a Trivela?
Yeah.
He kind of did a couple moves inside the box, and then I was just like, who is the sir? I was not familiar with your game. Like that was an unbelievable goal in that moment.
Yeah, I think it's a very good response. I think it's I think everything, if you watch it from the angle where they're actually showing it in real time, you are like, there's so much space right there, and he found it, and he saw it. He had enough space to take the shot, and you're like, what a golazo! Like, it is unbelievable, and he scores again, which I think I really like about Galaxy this season is. There's so many high expectations that if somebody like Jovic doesn't score for like 2 games, you're like, you know what? He's having a bad time.
Right,
and then he'll respond. And, even Ricky, people have talked about him in certain ways where maybe he holds the ball a little bit too much in the midfield or, we're going to talk about it right now. Just kind of like, against LAFC, it's a little bit complicated for him. But Galaxy has been responding. We're talking about this great weekend that I had. I like to find parallels with all the teams that I like, and very much like Arsenal, where like you now have a team that is confident in their abilities. It's so like LA Galaxy is good again. That's the main component of all.
Last year was not.
No, I would say the last maybe like 5 years, honestly, have just been very debilitating seasons. And this season, I think the best thing that Galaxy has done has just gone, hey guys, we don't really need a superstar, because Ricky did come in with a lot of high expectations, but it wasn't, I think Zlatan had the team that he had, right?
Yeah.
If he had this team, oh my God, right? But they had a long
history. Did he call Perry Kitchen Kevin for like his whole 2 years?
He wasn't correcting him.
Yeah, Antuna was there too.
Antuna was there too.
Antuna
What a
Nation.
team.
So I think that LA Galaxy finally figured, obviously they kind of cleaned house and everything, and they just went, you know what? We need good players and we can make them stars, but let's not bring in a superstar. Well, I mean, I guess you can kind of make the case with Royce, but even Royce comes in and it's like, I want to play. I want to try. I'm going to do. I thought that was their one signing that was going to be like, we need to make just a big name signing.
Sell a couple tickets.
Yeah,
let's go. Have a little fun. Let people know we're still here.
Let him hang out in the sunshine and have a good time. But no, like even that first game, he comes in, he scores a goal, he assists. He looks excited to play with Galaxy. And I think that you saw it in this game too. They faced the LAFC at 4th of July, lost, but now they come back and
I think it shows a lot of character. I mean, and I want to talk about Ricky Puig, and we're gonna focus on him a little bit.
Turn he had,
because we even so Ricky Puig has been notorious for responding to random tweets that he's not even tagged in. He's like, if you're talking about me. We've
done our fair share of.
But that's the thing, is that we have also made fun in his first season, or maybe second season, when he had a terrible start. He had like no assists after like 10 games. So we're teasing him about it. and he didn't respond to us.
How dare he?
Oh,
Wow.
But literally, all the Barca fanboys are in our comments like, you don't know anything, but these guys are dumb, fat, this guy, and blah, blah, blah.
You didn't have to bring that up.
That was in the I'm just reminding people the terrible things that they said about you, Alexis.
Pretty horrific. I guess Ricky didn't have to respond. Is what we're learning.
But I was like, oh man, we missed out on some of the smoke.
I'm not trying to create waves between the two of you, but that was a very passionate.
Yeah.
What did he say
you know,
before? In the
you
other
guys don't know anything
He's
about
like,
soccer.
yo, these guys are stupid. This guy's stupid. That one guy looks pretty good fat.
I say you don't even need to say any of those things. I mean, I don't support it. I hope that's
I
clear.
just want to
It's just
say
like,
it.
I don't support it. It definitely wasn't my burner account that wrote it. Yeah.
But Ricky Puig, after the game, and he had a great game. And after his goal, he doing the little took off the shirt, did the little ole matador thing. I'm like, okay, this guy's he's all vibes, bro. He not only is he a great footballer. I mean, we see him on the pitch. He is leaps and bounds. Oftentimes the best player on the field. I mean, and you can just clearly see the level of quality that was brought to the team. And I think the thing that's better from him over Zlatan is that Zlatan had terrible body language with his teammates. He's like, oh, frustrated with
Well, I think it goes back to just like the team camaraderie. Like, I think that was the problem. It's hard with Zlatan because you go, yes, he was a commanding force, but it was also a terrible team on paper to put him with. So it was a recipe for disaster. Then you bring on Chicharito. Again, it's kind of in between sort of situation where, yes, he is a very good cherry picker, but the team is not to the fulfillment of being able to play around him. And it wasn't until you
Kind of like what's happening with Giroud right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, but LAFC is still like in second place.
Yeah.
LAFC, I think, does credit to them. They have been fairly consistent this entire time, since, they improving, win MLS Cup, and still are pretty good, but they don't give out trophies for getting to finals. So,
No, they don't.
They don't.
Tottenham would have a trophy case.
I love the pettiness. I love to hear.
I think, because what was it? What did they just lose? They just lost.
They lost League Cup final.
They lost the League Cup final, right? And
Merito,
of course,
LAFC.
there's a little rivalry banter talk on
Of
the
course.
timelines. And, LAFC fans are like, well, at least we make it to finals. And I'm like, I think you have this season and maybe next season to still pull that, or else it's going to become a bit and you're going to be a joke.
Okay.
Not like a super huge joke because you're still going to be a top team. But I do think as an organization, LAFC, your relevancy is you should be a winning team and you want to be the finalist team. Like that's the other part.
Yeah.
They won the
I mean, look,
Club World
the bar is high. I mean, I do want to talk about, I want to just mention Ricky first, but I do want to talk about because I think the rivalry between the two teams is the most aggressive, I think, between the two compared to any others at the moment, even though, there's fights and a lot of crazy stuff, but I'll get to that in a second. But I want to mention Ricky because he's been responding to people on Twitter. And again, he's not
So funny.
and this is funny because this is from, we know a good Juan who's a fan of the show. He tunes in all the time.
He's the homie.
And he tweets out a video. He's obviously at the game, and he just tweets out "Vale pura verga este way," and it's a video of
Which we need
Ricky.
a Mexican to Spanish translator. for that.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, how can, in the most polite way, how can you translate that?
Just, I mean, if I have to translate, it sucks ass, but in a very opposite and pretty bad. You don't say that. You don't say that in front of your mom, anybody around.
Got it,
You
got it.
definitely don't. You get slapped.
And Ricky Puig retweets this, and he says "No mames way," which is having fun with it.
It's having fun with
it's
it,
the typical response.
but
of
is
like,
it-
no mames.
is it-
It's funny.
is it culturally correct though? Is that how he's supposed
No,
to
it
respond?
is.
Yeah.
It's people do that when they think it's everyone says it. Mexicans say it all the time. No mames, wait. I think who said it when they won the World Cup? When France won the World Cup, and no mames, they always go with the no mames.
Was
I think
that
Griezmann?
Griezmann.
Right. So I think it was a funny way. I don't think he was being petty on that way, but he's responding like a Mexican would.
He's just like, yo, I saw it.
He's like, you went full Mexican? I could go full Mexican.
And then
This one I think is my favorite.
This is
Alex Ruiz.
journalist Alex
Zoom
Ruiz.
in so you really know it.
And he goes, and just lists a couple
This is just straight stats.
stats. He says Ricky Puig has created 0 chances chances in his last 3 games against LAFC. The black and gold has been able to make him a non-factor in the final third. And Ricky Puig, again, not tagged in it, but mentioned in it and retweets it.
Laugh cry emoji, and then shush emoji.
And it's but there's some, the algorithm for Ricky Puig, his For You page
Is all Ricky.
is for
Like,
Ricky.
it's for him.
It's the For Ricky page.
So these are Ricky Puig specific tweets that we are sending back to you,
So he is
or posts on X.
he is seeing it. If you're talking about Ricky,
He's seeing it.
Well, it all started from what was it? Was it last season or the season before that, where somebody said, they did the classic Ricky just came to LA when he was playing bad.
Yes.
Ricky
Well,
just-
didn't he also say he was like a boring city you can't walk?
Well, I don't know if anybody ever actually confirmed that quote, because I think it just made the rounds. Like
Okay.
somebody said I could be wrong. It's been a while,
Mhm.
but I do remember somebody claiming that he said that he thought LA was boring, and then LA Galaxy comes out and responds with a really, really fun video.
Yeah.
And I think it just started from there. I think I don't think he's
He's
bored.
having fun.
He's having fun.
He is
He's a
having
little
fun.
petty.
He's having a good time.
You gotta be a
That's
petty
a bit-
Betty, bro.
By the way, I just want to say Alex Ruiz, I used to cover the Galaxy way back when, and the Galaxy community, the journalism press box, is one of my favorite places to be. I miss them every day. Alex is an up and coming journalist
Sure,
as well. Corner of the Galaxy, all those people have nothing but great things to say about him. So I agree. He was just putting stats, but I did see it. What was it? It was a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I did see the post. Now I feel like Ricky might bookmark this
Damn, he
and
did it.
just
He-
keep it in his file.
He put that on 9/11, bro.
But
another tragedy. If you ask Ricky Puig.
But the thing I love about Ricky is that he, again, an up and coming Galaxy reporter, just doing his job.
Yeah.
And Ricky treats American soccer media like the media out in Spain.
Right.
He's like, "Oh, you said something about me?
I'll
All
say
right,
it."
I'm gonna clap back." And it's just like, "Bro, I have 40 followers. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to say anything to me in general." But
This is why you're mad, because Cooligans doesn't get a retweet. Like, you're like, we got so many followers.
We
and
have
this
like
guy
45 followers.
No, I'm just saying we want to be a part of the discourse, Ricky.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be a part of the banter. Okay,
Ricky, what's it gonna take?
What's it gonna
to-
take?
He's
Retweet
scared,
by-
bro. He don't want that smoke. He saw
There you
two
go.
I would love
comedians
that.
that said, "Nah, I can't."
I would love to have Ricky on the show, and
We would love to have
you
Ricky on
know,
the
he
show.
can call me fat. You know, he can mix it up. You know, bring it up.
I'll tuck my shirt into my shorts like him. I'll be the good boy, and you should hear how he calls me fat when the show. When
Man,
No, but it would be great. So the other thing I was mentioning about the rivalry, and the one thing I want to mention is you know Eli Lesser,
Yes.
right? He was formerly This Week in MLS, but it's an interesting angle because he obviously covers Major League Soccer,
but he's a
but
very
he's
open
a
LA
big,
Galaxy
big
fan.
LA Galaxy fan, and he does a lot of banter with LAFC fans, you know, back and forth, and sometimes people get mad at him to the point where they're like threatening him in the comments, and it's just like, bro, it's a little bit of just like, obviously it's gone way too far when it gets to that point, but it says something about how passionate people are about this rivalry, because you know, it's always the LAFC is you know, LA formerly Chivas, and you know, and then
Which is technically
petty.
true. The thing about that is that it's technically
Sure.
listen,
true.
as an outsider watching you guys fight, it's hilarious.
It is.
It is, because I have no dog in the fight or whatever, but it is funny how petty the both rivalries are. You're a
It can
Chivas
get-
this,
it can
you
get a
are in
little
club
choppy.
here.
It can get a
You're
little-
not in LA, you're in Carson. Like, they just
Right,
pick
it's a
little-
lot.
And you know what? It does hurt people. Like, I go.
But in general, is it a net good for American soccer
Why
to have
not?
it be
Yeah.
this a little
it's that
crazy?
culture.
I think so.
It's
I
their
think
culture of LA.
it's
El Tráfico, the name in itself, like, it's all
True.
it's there. It's funny. It's petty.
and
LA is also a smoke city. Like, everybody's on smoke in LA. People are just ready to fight at all times in LA. What happened, bro? Y'all got sun 24/7.
yeah, I think that there's a.
It's funny.
I think the other thing is that it does deliver consistently.
Right.
It's
They're always
never-
good
You can't argue
With
that.
no
yeah.
defense. Of
They're
course.
must-watch games. Like, as much as I love, you know, all the other teams, you know, Toronto FC, Montreal is not really hitting. You
It
know,
used to, though.
when we were there.
When we were there.
we were
And
there.
and I think this is going to probably be the most. It's always been exciting, but this I think this season is gonna take it to another level
Well, yeah,
because
it's 1-2.
there's so much buzz about it being the Western Conference final match.
Yeah.
And what would that look
You
like?
know how hard you guys are going to play to be the ones to lose to Miami in the final? It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be quite
But
quite an
when
honor.
you look at other parts of the world, when you look at clásicos and those, Boca River, you look at in Mexico, Chivas, America, when people go MLS, outsiders don't go, wait, what's that huge? I think this is it. Like,
Yeah,
This is it, yeah.
It has to be people outside of the world go, oh my gosh, that game, Zlatan and Vela, when he came in, I mean, and you're seeing all those goals, this is your big game.
Right.
Even
This is your
though-
clásico.
And
Yeah.
it's a brand new team coming in with the history of LA Galaxy and all it had, and coming in the briny, shiny penny, all the sponsorship, black and gold coming in. That's it. That's your soccer culture that MLS has been missing for a very long time. And credit, I'm sure there are other clubs like you guys have been saying it, but outsiders, they look at that and they
this
see
is
it.
this is
Yeah.
becoming like the marquee game, and look, and it takes I've seen the Milan derby or whatever, like there's
What is that? Derby della Madonnina?
yeah, and you see the absolute insanity, or even in Italy, there's always like the
Derby della
Of-
Capitale is the big one, right?
It's like the-
Lazio versus Roma.
it's like a father with his kid, and
Yeah.
the ultras are like, I don't give a shit about
Yeah.
that kid. Like they don't tone it down
Right.
for any reason. And again, I think there's a little
You're a
bit,
Christian. We'll be a real footballing country when you yell at children.
but I guess there has to be some sort of balance of us sort of deciding collectively of like, do we want the American soccer culture to include some of that kind of psychosis
Mhm.
and anger
Toxicity.
and toxicity? And it's just like, to some degree, it's like, yes, because it's obviously it's exciting. It brings up did you see the commissioner of the WNBA? She was asked about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and how the comments have been like kind of crazy, and people are sort of promoting or even saying racist things or just saying really, really toxic, problematic things and directing them at both of those players.
She was like, "Hey, engagement's up, baby."
That's exactly what she kind of, I mean, in different words, but she kind of was just like, well, no, it just shows how passionate people are about the WNBA.
I think that's what everybody tries to get at, because I mean there's even discourse around like women's soccer, right? And how do you get, I think it's like passion is probably the buzzword, but what does that passion end up looking like?
Right.
Because yes, it's toxic, but it's because they care, and so we have to kind of be okay with it. But how toxic are we allowing it to get? How much can they really care about this?
Right. Can you usher away the fans who care the most?
Yes, or
Yeah.
are we? I mean, we're Mexico fans. Like, it's like, no, we don't want somebody to care so much that they're stabbing somebody, at the
Or
stadium,
or
you
getting
know?
games canceled because they yell that goddamn word. Hey,
So I
grito.
think I think that LA Galaxy, LAFC is, I don't want to say cute, like demeaning it, because I enjoy the games, obviously, as an LA Galaxy fan. But I don't think we should take it too seriously. I don't know, unless something very terrible happens.
Of course,
right?
of course.
But I think right now, as far as like toxicity,
Well, it's soccer. It's not a Dodgers game. Relax.
Same fans.
Let's talk real quick about Carlos Vela coming back. So Tom Boger did report
see that.
that in the final day of like the roster freeze of Major League Soccer, that LAFC agreed to bring Carlos Vela back. And this is a little bit of like, okay, right before the playoffs, bring in some.
I honestly,
He's the Mexican James Rodriguez. Like, where have you been this whole time, dog?
I think it's I do think that it's crazy that, I mean, I don't know what happened with that, but it is crazy that, one, they kept him, and two, that they kept him.
Yeah.
Because I do go, I really thought that they are trying to get away from him. You're bringing in all these like pretty promising players. You got
Yeah.
Giroud, I blanking on the goalkeeper's name, right? But I thought that this season is about, let's play without Vela. And then Tom breaks and he was like, no, he's coming back. I'm like,
Nah, he back.
It feels a little bit of like, is it a
Did they
favor?
release like the figures
Well,
of
that's
how
the
much?
thing, I'm
Is
like-
it a lot? Is it
I
just
can't
we don't
imagine
know?
it's a lot.
Because Carlos Vela wasn't going anywhere else. Like it would be really hard. He's not going to go back to Spain.
Yeah, no, he was
He's not going to
streaming,
go back.
right? What was
he's
he
not,
doing?
He's not going to go,
back to Mexico.
He's not. Gonna.
Yeah.
He's not going to go back to another MLS team.
What's he?
So-
He's a Cozumel guy, right?
So he's from Cancun.
He's
I
from
think.
Cancun.
No, it's
Oh,
Cancun.
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 Mhm.
I knew it was in Ireland.
And Isla de Mujeres. Yeah. So it's news because I think they brought him back, but at the same time, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah,
Why not bring a little star power back?
Yeah, I
Being a
thought
Mexican
if they were going to bring him back, I thought it would be much earlier in the season.
He's complicated.
It was. I think it was like a money issue, right? I think he wanted more money.
I think he wanted that DP money, and they were like, no.
Well, that's the thing that I'm going to is like it might be the first of its kind in MLS where a player that already got you a trophy is not going to come and just milk it for the same club
Right.
after not having played this whole time. It's going to be a little awkward. I think it's going to be. I'm interested to see how it goes, and I almost feel like you guys probably shouldn't have done this. But Vela doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to
Having
be.
Vela against LA Galaxy, you kind of be like, okay, it's Vela. Like regardless,
I'm
what
just
it is.
interested because he's been. So what is it like? Literally, what has he been doing this whole time? That's
not,
the thing.
Not playing on them knees, bro. I mean,
Basketball?
he's
He loves
coming back
basketball.
fresh.
I mean, he was vacationing with his family.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
he's on
looks like he's been having a
Instagram.
great
He looks,
time. Yeah, he looks
looks
like he's
great. Looks
enjoying
I
happy.
think
himself.
this is a smart signing. You know he's good. He helped you win a trophy already. This is smart.
But who is
People
he?
love him.
He's not. He's obviously not going to be starting.
Well, that's the thing. And then of course, like
Unless you need a 10.
you sub him on, and it's Vela. How much is he really gonna? That's the part that I'm like, how much is he really gonna care?
How
Well,
old
he's
is
not
Vela?
going to track back. Okay, but what if you don't? What if you don't need him?
He never really did that anyway.
Yeah. What if you don't need him to do
It's
that?
just it's an interesting move, and it's one that we were talking about. Being that they brought Olivier Giroud, Kai Kamara was who no one really expected anything much from.
Scoring buckets.
Is doing great. It's almost
Mm-hmm.
like all right, why don't you give Giroud a couple games to get a little set? Watch a pro like Kai Kamara
Yeah,
do his
yeah.
thing, and then
Let me show you how to score in this league.
But Mateus Bogus has been spectacular, one of the better players in the league,
Incredible.
and which is where Carlos Vela was playing. There's no way he's not. That's even who is it? It was Christian Oliveira. I think is that his name? His first name Christian? I think it's Christian. I don't remember. But he's been also been great.
Why don't you move Ilya Sanchez back a little bit or move him off to the side and you put him at the 10? Get him close to Giroud. Him and Giroud don't run back. You
Does
know?
this mean he might go back to the national team in Mexico? Javier Aguirre's back.
Oh, wow.
Vela,
Okay, I
he's
love
getting
it.
some
Okay.
The
pictures.
reboot. The
He's
reboot.
coming back. He took 10 years off, 8 years off. Bosco had him in 2010 when they beat the U.S. that 9-0
Amy,
game, whatever
can
it
you
was.
believe again? That's what we're asking.
This is it. This is
Like,
Vela's comeback tour.
I have all my chips on Arsenal, right? That's where my happiness lies.
Nice.
All right. The other thing is, Lionel Messi came back to Inter Miami.
Yeah, he about to show y'all.
He ends up he scored 2 goals.
He looking thin, right? He looking like he's in good shape.
Sure. I mean, he's always looked
Nah.
pretty.
It's that Lay's partnership.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Money.
That's all he
Olays.
Bro, I don't know, man. Did he go vegan, bro? He looks. I mean, for an Argentinian, probably not.
I mean,
but
he got a nice. He got about 2 months off.
3 months, wasn't it?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Right before the League Cup, right?
Yeah, he got
He
injured.
took summer off, which is hard to do in the summer league.
He got injured at the final of Copa America. We saw him turn his ankle inwards, which it's not usually
It's
how
not
it
built
happens.
to do that.
Scientifically speaking, they don't recommend
They
it. You know?
don't. And we all saw the balloon that he had in his ankle. But look, Inter Miami have maintained first place in the Supporter Shield.
They're just
race.
as good without
They're
him,
just
which is crazy.
which is like, yeah, it's kind of wild to say. But having him back, the one interesting thing is Messi is, I think he's on 14 goals. The Golden Boot leader is at 19. There's 8 games left, roughly.
You think
could be
that he
done.
could take 2.5 to 3 months off and still win
Yeah.
the Golden
Yeah.
Boot?
Yeah,
That would be hilarious.
I do. I don't
Have
think.
you seen MLS defending him?
Okay, you're gonna do that.
Wow.
Hey, I love this
As
league.
a Galaxy fan.
I love
As
this
a
league,
Galaxy
yes,
fan.
as a Galaxy fan.
Okay,
I love this league.
I'm an
Why does it go
Everton
so
fan.
good?
Have you seen Premier League defending?
Yeah, that's a good point. For now, by the way, Premier League for now.
Okay. No, but I don't think he's gonna win MVP because it feels like
He can. It's
He
Messi.
can. I mean, it's Messi.
We've seen
But he
it
missed
before.
so many. He missed what 13 games,
Good for
roughly.
Lace.
Uh, But just
What does Apple TV want? That's the important thing.
If Apple TV wants,
They can. I mean,
we've seen it happen.
I don't know. 8 games and he ends up scoring a goal every game. They might make this comeback is amazing.
what a story.
It kind of is though.
I mean, we have you ever? Do you vote in the MLS end of year awards?
No, I do not.
Oh, I mean, that's. I mean, we do, but
they ask us to. Well, they ask us to. I tend to forget. It's very long. It's a lot.
What
I'm like, referee of the year. Why am I voting for this?
I don't know. But this is one of those things of like, would you vote for Messi in that scenario? If he obviously missed so many games due to injury, but still
If
is
he comes
winning
back,
the
he
leader.
wins the Golden Boot.
Regardless of
who's
who it
the
is, Amy, you're never going to vote for Messi. Let's be honest.
Excuse me. Who's the
Lucho is
Lucho
up
Costa.
there.
Lucho's up
He's
there.
having an incredible season as well. But he
Chicho
won.
Arango for a while was. He seems to have tapered off.
Lucho won it last year. But it would almost feel a little unfair to award Messi.
Nah, if he comes back and
And he
still wins
starts-
the Golden Boot and they're they win the Supporter
I
Shield,
think they
who
have
cares?
I
If he
think
comes back and he does that,
And your name is Messi, you're guaranteed to win that.
Sure. I mean, it'd be
and he's thin.
Yeah, right? And he's vegan now for an
the
Argentinian?
man has it all.
Damn, they're supposed to have gout by 30 if you're Argentinian.
They won. I think they won 4-2 or 3-1. I don't remember the exact 3-1. Okay, but no, it feels like we're just gonna have kind of more of the same. I don't see who is going to be beating Inter Miami. They are coming to Yankee Stadium this weekend, which is gonna be interesting. Just seeing Messi playing
I got my ticket.
on a baseball diamond. Can't wait. I can't wait.
Wow.
I mean,
Packed house.
What? They have, I mean, obviously this, did they make it to the Club World Cup? That big FIFA?
Well, there's a host. They didn't
Oh,
win,
so
but
they're
there's a
gonna make
host
it.
team. And if they pick anybody but Inter Miami,
Yeah.
I would be floored.
yeah, some people are saying like that if they win the Supporter Shield, they should.
We don't know yet, right?
It
we don't
doesn't
know.
matter what they win or
They're
don't.
also saying-
It's like Boca and River. I think somehow one of them got through. I think that they weren't supposed to by winning something like that.
Yeah,
Boca and River
you
have
may-
to get there.
So the some people have suggested that the MLS Cup winner should play the Supporter Shield winner, and that person will get to be
Guys,
the host team.
It's going to happen.
and then
Just
that
give it to
person's
Messi.
gonna face off against whatever Liga MX team
Right.
wins whatever made up tournament
Right,
we
right.
put together.
Hey, Leon is already one of the teams that's going. So we're good.
Okay, and then we got to wrap up with this. We're gonna try to do this a little bit more often because there's too many MLS teams, right? It's as somebody who covers the league, there's too many. There's too many players. You can't remember everybody. So we're gonna try to just dedicate some time to the teams that we don't really talk about often because they might either be just a little under the radar
Or in this case, just really bad.
or just really, really bad. The radar, they're not under the radar. The radar is literally not even picking them
They
up.
shut that off. They said, no, we don't need to check where you are. You do whatever you want.
We don't need a radar. We're gonna start with the San Jose Earthquakes because so producer Carter mentioned this.
Who's a Tottenham fan.
Who's a
Carter
Tottenham
is-
fan, and also he's from California, so he's also
From Northern California, so he is a San Jose
Earthquakes fan.
I'm
And
so
as soon as
sorry,
he
Carter.
said he was mentioning it to me, and he was like, should we talk about the San Jose Earthquakes? And then he goes, yeah, we've been bad for a long time. And I said, hold on, what
Wait.
is going on? Wait,
Are you
no.
speaking French right now, my G?
Don't associate yourself with the San Jose Earthquakes. That's like
You need to do that for our show.
Don't speak that way. And he's like, no, I am genuinely a San Jose Earthquakes supporter. And they have been really, really bad. But this year seems to be a little bit more special and why they're so bad. So
a
Carter,
special kind of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to that they're going to be historically bad this year. They have 17 points, 28 games into the season. There's 6 regular season games left. They've lost 10 of their last 12. The best they can do if they win all of their last 6 matches is still finish last in the Western Conference.
This is a special note.
Now, I hope you guys really make it, dude.
It's all red.
Yeah.
Like, when you see that.
yeah, I mean,
And-
we're looking at them there.
Look at this.
14th place in the Western Conference, just loss after
Loss,
loss.
Yeah, but where are they on the supporter shield race?
That minus 31 goal differential.
Not great. Probably in the same exact spot.
Ooh,
They're-
last
they're
place.
last place. So they are 10 points behind the last place team in the Eastern Conference. So it's a really, really bad situation. And we were talking a bit about it beforehand, but I didn't even realize this, but the owner of the Oakland A's is the same owner of the Earthquakes.
This is my message before you guys take it away. Please take it away after this. But this is my message to John Fisher. Please do not let the San Jose Earthquakes become the Oakland A's of MLS.
Right.
Either put money into this club and treat it like it's actually something that's worth the fans rooting for, or sell the club, because this is now 6 years of straight up just abysmal play from this club. And Matias Almeida couldn't fix it. No one can fix this club because there's no actual investment in understanding how to create an environment that breeds success. So please sell.
People know this about you. You also rooted for the Monstars. It's just not going to work out for you, dude.
This is and look, admittedly, I watch a couple San Jose Earthquake games here and there, maybe when they play against the Galaxy,
The Cali Clásico,
the Cali
right?
Clásico.
Which is
Right?
which is hardly a class.
the Clásico California.
I mean, to Carter's point, you have LAFC and LA Galaxy, and everybody just forgets about San Jose, but it is because they're so bad.
Yeah, I mean, as more teams have been.
Although they beat Chivas in the Leagues Cup, right?
Yeah.
They did. They got one thing. They had I think PK shootout, and they won. They beat Chivas.
Sure.
Was it?
This is a thing where the last couple years where I've tried to pay attention here and there, but there's just like almost nothing to be that excited about. They don't necessarily sign any big names. They don't really.
You're
not excited about Jackson Ewell?
I mean, Jackson Ewell played for the U.S.
Yeah.
The Espinoza has been pretty good throughout the years. Our friend Alfredo Morales was traded from NYCFC there. But this feels a little bit like a team where you send them to it's like a graveyard. You just send them to
This
have
is like
the
that
final.
team you've never heard of that plays the Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I mean?
The Washington Generals.
Yeah, it's in the Washington Generals.
And it just, I think this is just a.
This is when they won anything.
This is why you guys need pro rel. Oh, I'm sorry.
When's the last time they won it?
Click on the
They won the
team.
MLS Cup in 2003, and that's the last time they.
That can't be the last thing y'all won.
anything.
I don't think they've won anything
Anything
since.
else. No.
But
They barely make the playoffs as well.
Jokes aside, I do think it's one of those teams that because of the way MLS is structured, they don't. There's like like Carter's saying, what is the punishment for being this consistently bad?
Right.
What do you get to be the butt of the joke? They've been doing that. I think they got used to being the butt of the joke at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I know they've had several coaches. They just fired Lucci. Was it this year that they fired Lucci Gonzalez? I think.
They only had relevancy because Almeida went over there.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden people wanted to talk about them. And then he also helped it out because he was such a loving and caring coach. And what's his name?
Famous for a big name.
I think was it a keeper that learned how to speak
Tommy
Spanish?
Thompson. He's
Thompson,
like a midfielder, fullback.
Like the Duolingo.
Learn Spanish.
Learn Spanish.
For
So
a
there was
coach.
they had that relevancy and that talking point because of
No comment.
because of something outside of the field. And then he tried to make them believe, and he tried to get them to be good enough, but it just wasn't enough. And then
I think it just shows that there's clearly an institutional problem. Almeida kind of made those comments too, but just about signing players or MLS rules or blah blah blah. But there's San Jose is in a specific scenario where they are by far worse than they're seemingly one of the worst run teams in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, it seems like they were, from all the accounts, it's like they don't want to spend a lot. And they
don't
whatever.
want-
This is one of the.
They don't want
This
to
is
spend a lot. They don't want to make a lot
No.
either.
What if no one knew we were here? Then they can't audit us.
Is the fan base also are they supportive? Is it dead at games? Because I mean,
I don't think
are
so,
they
right?
It's
diehard
not-
Oakland A's fans that are still continuing from
it's
those
not
years?
it's not terrible. I mean, I think there's a a loyalty thing to it where it's we had relevancy about 20 years ago, and we're going to keep that hope alive. The most dedicated fan base really in the
Looks
world.
like they won MLS Cup in 2001 and 2003. And
That's what Jimmy Conrad was on that team when they were the Clash.
No, they weren't the Clash.
They
back
were
then.
the Clash back then.
2001, they were the Clash?
Yeah. They rebranded when they came back.
2007.
2007.
Wow. So as the Earthquakes, they've not won anything?
They have not.
Yeah, that team is now the Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, the Dynamo have won something.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
so
You know
that's
what?
still good.
Send that team back. Send that team back.
The Mazatlan of.
The
Hey, but Mazatlan used to
R.I.P.
be Morelia.
Monarcas, bro.
Rebranded, and here you go.
All right.
They should be the Tiburones. The
All right.
Veracruz.
R.I.P. better.
Yeah.
Let's
Keep an
wrap
accent in Mexico.
Let's wrap-
That's that city.
this segment up. You guys, because Amy, I know you are working on a bunch of stuff, but I know our football is the new podcast or the rebranding of the podcast. And so, do you want to I just want to give you guys an opportunity to just maybe mention or plug anything you guys are working on.
I mean, we were just talking about this before we started recording. Wiso and I have started working a lot more on like the marketing side, but it allows us to kind of take everything that we've learned after all these years working in Mexican soccer and soccer in general, and be able to, connect brands with fans and having that as the heart and soul of kind of like our philosophy, which is really cool. So it feels kind of weird to say like, hey, go and follow Think Fuera accounts, but if you want to, it's up to you. But all of that has allowed me and my co-host Eugene and my other co-host Adriana to kind of like bring back our football, which has been really fun, to be able to kind of see that, there is that is our boss.
That's what I would look like if I shaved. Interesting.
if you
This
Google,
does look like me if I shaved.
but if you go to Think Fuera Agency is the handle.
I'll find it.
Which
I'll
is
find it.
But no, with our football now, we're able to, and it comes at a perfect time for us to rebrand because we've had so many more tournaments coming in the women's soccer game with, different, CONCACAF W Champions Cup is coming up again this week. We had the Summer Cup, which was perfectly timed. So it's fun. It's fun to be able to re-record.
Yeah, I mean, just give you guys your credit, because as far as the commitment to not just growing the game, but especially as Latinos and Mexicans and highlighting that. I mean, I've always said that, and I've told you guys a bunch of times, like as far as, getting to learn more about Mexican soccer culture, especially on the men's and women's side, is like, you guys are my resources.
Yeah, especially the culture, which we could watch all the games we want. But the culture is what you might not understand.
The passion.
Yeah,
exactly.
Everyone has passion,
not the
right?
toxic
But-
passion.
That's part of it.
That's
Yeah.
stuff. When you bring your kids to games and stuff like that, and seeing how happy they are in those moments. Bring your dad to games. I've seen those as well. It's absolutely adorable family that you got there. All right, thank you guys for joining us.
Pleasure.
Amy Lopez and Wiso Vasquez. Go follow Think Fuera agency and show some support for whatever their corporate mergers they have going on.
Think outside the box, everybody.
Shout out to Amy and Wiso for coming through.
Amazing.
All right, all the way
Amazing guests.
from LA and Phoenix.
Phoenix, the West Coast, bro.
Yeah, Phoenix, the West
It's
Coast.
too hot. that counts as the West Coast.
You think so?
Yeah.
Arizona?
Yes.
Nah, it's a little.
Exhibits from there, isn't he?
Yep.
That dude West Coast is hell to me.
He's the barometer
Yeah.
of the West.
Like if someone from Nevada tries something, but bro, Exhibit ain't even from your state, dog.
even though you border that state, he ain't from there.
Actually, he might be a New Mexico guy, but still, y'all count. Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's.
You know what they got in that area? They got Hatch Chili's. Hatch reminds
Chili.
me of Ashley Hatch, who plays for Washington Spirit.
Who is teammates with Trinity Rodman.
Bro.
Okay. 6 degrees of Rodman.
You feel me?
So who is that?
And she from the West Coast, so that just goes to show you.
And that's who we talking about right now, because Trinity Rodman.
Segues.
Trinity Rodman just scored an incredible goal.
She did.
This weekend in NWSL. The Spirit were playing against
Houston.
the Houston Dash. And you gotta give look, I'm saying this. I don't even think it's anything that crazy. I don't even think I needed to hit that button. But Trinity Rodman, to me, is currently the face of the NWSL. She is, I think, inarguably the most popular player, and will do what like Alex Morgan as far as a marketing perspective and everything, I think she will be the next Alex Morgan in that capacity. And she's already an incredible footballer, and the skills on the field are incredible. But what she is knowingly doing is like, I understand. I know I'm good at the game already. I'm already schooling.
But how do I be the rising tide that lifts all these damn boats?
Exactly. Okay. Because these other boats are holding me down. I gotta go help them.
Facts. I love that you waited for Alex Morgan to retire for you to say this. And also, like, her locker ain't even cleaned out, bro. And already you what's that called? Anointing?
Anointing. Yeah.
You anointing the next queen of the NWSL.
Because she scored.
But I see you. It's the Sellies, her vibe,
The
dude.
vibe, everything.
She gets it. She's marketable.
All right. And she scored an incredible goal that we're taking a look at right now. But she's holding off the defender and then blast the ball. Jane Campbell doesn't even expect a shot to even be coming here.
You can't stop her. Look at her.
Then
She does the lay down.
The Selly, she did the night, the Steph Curry. Then Leo Messi just did this over the weekend. He did the night celebration, and Trinity Rodman takes it to another level because it wasn't just, I'm out here gonna take a little nappy poo.
She does this while, look at this. She's holding a human backpack. Just won't get off her. Damn.
Great shot.
That's like, you know, when like your mother told you like you got to take your little cousin with you if you're gonna go out with your friends. and you still riz a girl while holding on to your little cousin's hand.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
My man got game.
Damn, that's exactly what she just did. Look at this. She practically held hands with the defender. Said, come here, I'm gonna show you what it looks like to do this. Get over here.
I love the celebration though. This is just great because this is again, just taking it to the next level. This is the next. This is the evolution of that celebration.
I would say showman, but that's the wrong one. She's a show person.
Right.
Yeah. She's here for the spotlight. She gets it. She knows what to do.
And there's
actually, speaking of Ashley Hatch, she hit her 50th goal. If that was the first goal of this
I think
match.
she scored a penalty, right?
Yeah, 50th goal, which is incredible. I think she's the fastest person to do it, or one of the fastest.
Yeah.
I forgot what record she broke, but congratulations to her. 50 goals in NWSL.
So, but no, huge fan. We're huge Trinity Rodman fans, and I think the obviously at the Olympics,
triple espresso, bro.
Triple espresso. Everything has been great, but it's great seeing. Even when she was talking about Alex Morgan's retirement, she really spoke very, very highly of her. But we interviewed Trinity when she got drafted early on. So she got drafted at like 18 or 19 years old. And one of the first things that we were impressed by was just like her maturity and her kind of self-awareness and stuff like that. And she's managing. And so I want this particular celebration. I just sort of asked the question, like, because this is a little, you're teetering on disrespect a little bit. By taking, you don't think so? By taking a nap, going night.
This is for the spotlight. Like I can't wait for like a Caitlin Clark to develop like, what's the three fingers? Something that just goes to show like this ain't about you. This is about how great I am.
And you don't think the Dash players would be like, all right, this is a little bit much. You don't think so?
What you gonna do? Score a goal.
If I was playing,
score a goal, and then you get the clap back.
If I'm playing EAFC and somebody does the celebration,
that's different.
Why is it different?
Because the video game, it's known that you do the celebrations to delay it, to like rub it in their face. Everyone gets to celebrate a goal. You don't know if your knee's going to blow out right after this.
Okay.
You celebrate every goal. I don't care if it's the 14th against Thailand or if it's this one.
I love it, and I think it's good for the game in general.
And, if you disrespected by this, score a goal on the Washington Spirit, and then you get to celebrate.
Okay, because it's one like, is it a little villainous to kind of rub it in this particular way?
Not if you literally helped her score the goal as a defender, you don't get to be offended by this.
Okay, no, but a huge fan of this. Great moment.
This is massive.
All right, I want to wrap up with this. I'm gonna. I've been scrolling on TikTok and been seeing a lot doom scrolling, just wondering how my life got this way, right?
Why do I work with a guy who brings up getting pregnant in space?
I could have taken my career in almost any other direction.
If you listen to your parents, you'd be driving a bus right now.
But there was a I just want to make sure. Okay, I want to mute this. This came up on TikTok, and it's just kind of a wild moment that I've never really seen in in sports, I think, in this kind of scenario. But so we're watching this, and this looks like it's like kind of like a Sunday league game,
Little
but
Sunday
something
league-ish.
pretty well organized. I think my guess is it might be in Brazil, but I don't exactly know. The account is Canelada. EC could be Ecuador. I don't know. But look, so goalkeeper is out, hits it, 30, 40 yards, and into an empty net.
It bounced off the crossbar, off the goal line, and bounced out.
And it's one of those. This to me, this is one of the closest of like an edging video. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just I cannot believe that it got this close and did not go in. This is crazy.
This is basically everyone from who went to high school in Salt Lake City is watching this going, I know that feeling.
Yeah, so cool.
This is the Provo Soak of soccer clips.
Unbelievable.
This is like, look, your father. This technically we didn't do nothing wrong, bro. The net didn't even move.
As I was watching, I saw as soon as he hit the ball, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a goal from the other side of the field."
If only there was a bunch of other dudes from Salt Lake shaking the goal. Maybe
it would then, yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it started going in slow-mo, I'm like, oh, this may not go in. This is brutal. And then for it to not go in this particular way is even more tragic. This is like one of the most difficult videos to watch because it hurts. Because we all know that we've all seen them go in.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like a comforting. What are those videos that are like sort of like aesthetically pleasing to sort of watch? I forgot what they're called.
I like when like things fit in other things.
Right.
Those are
right.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how you
In
get
this
pregnant
case.
in space, folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
And then this is another one. This is the last one, and then we'll wrap up. This is a video. This was posted by Puberty Sports. Not puberty, puberty. And this I don't know where this is. I don't know what country. And it was reposted by somebody, Joselu21. And this is a video of a bunch of guys playing barefoot
in what looks like it is a cow patch.
That is a cow pasture that cows are on.
Yeah.
They're playing in a cow pasture and cows are running alongside them. And
some of the cows are like not really involved, and we're like, okay, there's one who's got my body shape.
That's not a cow, that's a human.
Yeah, that's a human.
But this is unbelievably dangerous because the cows could run you over. And
they're not bulls, are they? These look like cows, but the cows typically don't have that hump in the back. But these aren't like horned bulls.
Right. They just look like
they're very athletic cows if they are cows.
I mean, the absolute units, these cows.
No, if you're running up on the fence, these got to be bulls.
Yeah.
This is whatever this is. It's really dumb. This is bad for your ankles. This is bad for just as a health hazard.
Oh, but look, I love how he megged the cow. But this is. Would you ever do something?
You know the answer to this.
How much money? There has to be a price. How much money would you need to participate in a game like this?
It's got to be like $50K at minimum.
That's it?
Yeah, you give me $50K, I'll at least go in there for a minute. You give me $100,000, I'll stay in there until a goal is scored.
Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah. For me, I'm not doing this for less than 100 just to step on the pitch. I mean, because
what pitch? It's a bunch of dirt and poop
on the patch. My bad.
Yeah. On the patch for sure.
But this is one of the most psychotic things I ever. But this is one of those videos where you're like, just guys being dudes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Is,
men, only men can think of this.
This is why the average lifespan of a man is 10 years younger. These guys like this throw off our average.
We gamble with a couple years of our lives.
There's not one woman seen throughout this video. Not in the stands, not in there.
They don't even want to watch.
No.
So absolutely ridiculous. Never seen anything like this. And we've seen, at the World Cup, we saw the the dancing. Remember the like. It was like a ballet, and they were playing. It was like soccer ballet.
Oh, that was like old school though. That video's been around for forever.
No, that was during when the World Cup was in France, right? Or the Women's World Cup.
No, that video's been around forever.
Oh, I don't know. I thought that was recent, but I guess
No,
not.
I'm telling you, I've seen it for years.
So wild. Footy on the internet is pretty crazy. Okay, but they're trying to find ways. MLS did the run up penalties, and some other countries do this.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
All right. Let's wrap up there, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. Again, shout out to Amelia and Wiso for joining us on the show. Talking some Tráfico banter, and we'll be back on Thursday. I had mentioned last week that we were supposed to have a different guest.
Yes.
And that guest will be on the next Monday.
Next
week. I know some people
keep it
were
waiting.
expecting some love on the cover stuff, but that'll be on the 23rd, next Monday. So make sure you follow us at Soccer Cooligans on all socials. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well. I will be back on Thursday with another exciting episode, especially because the UEFA Champions League returns.
3 days this week. So that's right. You're going to be watching it tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Thursday before you listen to us.
You doing anything different or fun at CBS?
Not a damn thing.
Just covering. All right.
I do my job. I'm gonna let them do their job. I don't need to be on TV 5 days straight for 2 different shows. No thank you.
All right. So we'll see you on Thursday, everybody. Peace.
Love you guys.